Respectfully, I'd rather eat an 8-day-old unrefrigerated Subway sandwich than read that.
It was a questionable decision for her to do this interview considering just how poorly she comes off to viewers, and now that her credibility has been ruined after the defamation trial. And Heard did not disappoint. She continued to blame everyone for the verdict except for herself, and even appeared to criticize the jury itself.
Lawyers did certainly a better job of distracting the jury from the real issues.
Distracting the jury from the real issues. This is a person who is delusional, and that is just offensive to the entire court process and all those jurors who gave up their time to weigh in on whether Amber Heard lied. They found she did, and with malice, and still this wannabe movie star, seems completely unaware that she is lost, and we were all tired of hearing about this case.
The internet has branded you with a nickname, Amber Turd, because you allegedly took a dump in Johnny Depp's bed. Is that true?
Of course.
In the trial, you suggested it was your dog.
I get it. I'm not a saint.
Was this your way of getting back at him?
Of course not. It wasn't about him. This would be a really lousy way to get vengeance.
I agree, but you still did it. What exactly were you trying to say?
You know, that's a great question, and one that I wish was considered more seriously. It was about reforms, legislative reforms.
Don't you think that got kind of lost in translation? Don't you think he could have tweeted it instead?
It's never going to be good enough.
The internet has branded you with a nickname.
This is my house. Entry, please. He is my neighbor, Nur Sultan Tuliakbay. Spelling my assholes. I get a window from a glass, he must get a window from a glass. I get a step, he must get a step. I get a clock radio, he cannot afford. Great success.
Whenever I play online games, I use the handle Amber Heard, because I always shit the bed.
Did you know that in Aquaman, you can see that the kid offers Mera the Book of Pinocchio? This is the reference to the fact that Amber Heard is full of lies.
I used to get 10 to 15 scripts across my desk every week.
Bullshit.
Yes, fuck yes. Far too strong to excuse it any longer. I want to thank every one of you who wakes up and looks for the blame and the sounds of chanting and thinks, yes, fuck yes. Enough is enough. Time's up. Me too. Our lives matter. Yes.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you. Well, I had a little chuckle at this comment. I hope she does get a book deal. I really do. And I hope she writes down all of her lies so that when it comes to cross-examining her on the next court hearing, it'll be really easy. Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Amber Heard writing a tell-all book has to be the most narcissistic thing you could ever do. What is there to tell? More lies? Give up. Take responsibility for your words and your actions. You bitch.
Funny. Yes, but not funny, haha. Funny weird.
Surely if Amber Heard writes a book, she is setting herself up for another legal battle because it's going to be full of defamatory comments just on the basis that she believes her own lies.
Choosing to ignore this verdict.
What? You can't ignore the verdict?
What verdict? See, this is me ignoring the verdict.
So the question for today is, how much interest per day does Amber Heard have to pay due to Johnny Depp's $10.35 million judgment against her? This week, the court entered the judgment order against Amber Heard for $10 million in compensatory damages and $350,000 in punitive damages. The order also requires Amber Heard to pay 6% per year in interest on the amount of the judgment. According to Virginia statutes, that 6% interest will remain in effect during the entire time the judgment remains unpaid, even if the interest rate changes. This is simple interest and will not compound and can be calculated on a daily basis. So now we're going to take the $10.35 million judgment and multiply it by the daily decimal rate for 6%. And based on those calculations, Amber Heard is going to be paying approximately $1,700 per day for every day that judgment remains unpaid. If an appeal takes a year and she loses, that's another $621,000 on top of the judgment.
It has been so much fun putting these together and making these. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to keep seeing stuff like that, like this, the TikToks, I'm transitioning to more like, I'm doing the Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. I've got some of those TikToks coming up. I also have, and just like that, Sex and the City TikToks coming up. So look for those. If more funny ones about this come out, I will put them together. Otherwise, check out my other videos. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.